most of the world is technically accessible, if you have enough time, enough money, and enough patience. But scattered across our planet are places you will never be allowed to visit. Not because they're expensive, not because they're difficult to reach, but because governments, nature, ancient civilizations, or even isolated human tribes have made sure these places remain permanently off limits. Some protect secrets, some hide dangers so extreme that stepping inside could kill you, and others preserve mysteries humanity still doesn't fully understand. Today, we're counting down 10 forbidden places on Earth you're not allowed to visit. And by the time we reach number 1, you'll discover a place so contaminated that at its worst, standing nearby for too long could literally mean death. Stay with us till the end, because some places on Earth were never meant to be explored. Number 10. Lascaux Caves, France. In September 1940, 4 teenage boys near the village of Montignac in southern France accidentally discovered what would become one of the greatest archaeological finds in human history. Hidden beneath the ground was a cave system covered in over 600 prehistoric paintings. Massive bulls, horses, stags, bison, and mysterious abstract symbols carefully painted by humans nearly 17,000 years ago. The artwork was so significant that historians called it the Sistine Chapel of Prehistory. In 1948, France opened the cave to the public, but something unexpected happened. Thousands of visitors began entering every day, and with them came carbon dioxide from breathing, rising humidity, body heat, and artificial lighting. These environmental changes unintentionally began damaging the fragile cave ecosystem. Soon, algae, fungi, and mold began growing directly on the ancient artwork. Within just 15 years, the damage became severe enough that French authorities permanently closed the cave in 1963. Today, only scientists are allowed inside under strict conditions. A replica called Lascaux 4 was opened nearby in 2016, but the original cave remains sealed forever. A 17,000-year-old masterpiece survived millennia, but couldn't survive tourism. Number 9. Poveglia Island, Italy. In the Venetian lagoon between Venice and Lido sits a tiny abandoned island with one of Europe's darkest histories. Its name is Poveglia Island. For centuries, Venice battled repeated outbreaks of the bubonic plague, and during major outbreaks, authorities used Poveglia as a quarantine station. Ships carrying infected passengers were diverted there. The sick were isolated, and thousands who died were buried or cremated on the island. Historians believe parts of the island still contain human remains mixed within the soil. In the early 20th century, a psychiatric hospital was established there. It operated for decades before shutting down in 1968. Over time, stories began spreading about hauntings and unexplained events. Whether those stories are true, no one knows. Today, the island remains closed to the public. Its buildings decay slowly, nature is reclaiming the land, and silence has taken over. Number 8. Mezhgorye, Russia. Deep within Russia's southern Ural Mountains lies a closed town called Mezhgorye. For decades during the Soviet era, the town existed under secret names like Beloretsk 16 and UFO 105. The town sits near Mount Yamantau, and what lies inside that mountain remains one of modern Russia's biggest mysteries. Throughout the 1990s, American intelligence satellites detected massive underground construction activity there. When questioned, Russian officials gave multiple explanations: a mining project, a storage facility, a bunker, a repository for national treasures. The problem? These explanations contradicted each other completely. The area remains heavily secured by Russian military infrastructure, and outsiders are strictly prohibited. Many analysts believe Mount Yamantau may hide one of Russia's largest underground military complexes, but Russia has never officially revealed what exists beneath the mountain, and perhaps never will. Number 7. Snake Island, Brazil. Roughly 35 kilometers off Brazil's coastline sits an island officially known as Ilha da Queimada Grande, but almost everyone calls it Snake Island. Around 11,000 years ago, rising sea levels separated this island from mainland South America. The snakes trapped there evolved in complete isolation over thousands of years. One species became dominant, The golden lancehead pit viper, a snake found nowhere else on Earth because mammals were scarce on the island. These snakes adapted to hunt migratory birds instead. Scientists estimate their venom may be 3 to 5 times stronger than mainland relatives. A bite can cause severe tissue damage, internal bleeding, and organ failure. Researchers estimate between 2,000 and 4,000 snakes live there. The Brazilian Navy has prohibited public access for decades. Only scientists and authorized personnel may enter. For everyone else, setting foot here is illegal, and considering what lives there, probably a terrible idea. Number 6. North Sentinel Island, India. Deep in the Bay of Bengal lies one of the most isolated places on Earth, North Sentinel Island. The island is home to the Sentinelese, one of the last known uncontacted tribes on Earth. Anthropologists believe they have lived in isolation for tens of thousands of years. Almost nothing is known about their language, their culture, or how they organize their society, because for centuries, they have rejected all outside contact, sometimes violently. The Indian government has declared a protected exclusion zone around the island, making it illegal to approach. In 2006, 2 fishermen accidentally drifted too close. Both were killed. Then in 2018, an American missionary named John Allen Chow illegally tried to make contact. He was killed shortly after reaching shore. His body was never recovered. North Sentinel Island remains one of the few places where staying away is not just a legal requirement. It is also an ethical obligation. Number 5. Surtsey, Iceland. In November 1963, fishermen off the southern coast of Iceland witnessed something extraordinary. The ocean began to boil. Ash and steam erupted from beneath the sea. And over the next few years, a brand new island slowly rose above the Atlantic Ocean. Its name is Surtsey, one of the youngest islands on Earth. But here's what makes it truly unique. Almost no one is allowed to set foot on it. Not because it's haunted, not because it's radioactive, but because scientists wanted to answer one extraordinary question. How does life begin on a brand new piece of land? Since the island first emerged, researchers have carefully watched nature build an ecosystem completely from scratch. The first mosses, the first insects, the first seabirds, and, eventually, the first plants carried by wind, waves, and birds. To protect this once-in-a-lifetime natural experiment, the Icelandic government strictly limits access. Only a small number of approved scientists are allowed to visit. Even they must follow incredibly strict biosecurity rules. Their shoes and equipment are disinfected before landing. Nothing is allowed to be brought onto the island that could accidentally introduce new plants, seeds, insects, or microorganisms. One careless footprint, or even a single seed stuck to a boot, could permanently alter decades of scientific research. Today, Surtsey remains one of the world's most protected natural laboratories, a place where humanity isn't forbidden because it's dangerous, but because our very presence could change history forever. Number 4. Qinshi Huang Mausoleum, China. In 1974, farmers digging a well near Xi'an, China, made a discovery that stunned archaeologists worldwide. Buried underground was an enormous army made entirely of clay, the Terracotta Army. Thousands of life-sized soldiers, weapons, chariots, and horses, all built to guard the tomb of Qinshi Huang, China's first emperor, who died in 210 BCE. Today, around 8,000 terracotta soldiers have been discovered, but the emperor's actual tomb chamber has never been opened. Chinese authorities have deliberately kept it sealed because opening it with today's technology could permanently damage priceless artifacts hidden inside. The entire mausoleum complex covers nearly 56 square kilometers. Ancient historian Sima Qian wrote that the tomb contains rivers of flowing mercury, mechanical traps, and a ceiling designed to resemble the night sky. Modern soil testing has detected unusually high mercury concentrations around the tomb, suggesting these ancient descriptions may contain truth. So for now, the emperor continues sleeping, undisturbed. Number 3. The Vatican Apostolic Archive, hidden deep inside Vatican City, behind thick walls and extraordinary security. sits one of the world's most secretive historical collections, the Vatican Apostolic Archive. Founded in the early 17th century, it contains roughly 85 kilometers of shelving filled with centuries of historical records. Among the documents stored inside are letters written by Michelangelo, records connected to Galileo's trial, and King Henry VIII's request for annulment. The general public cannot enter. Access is limited almost exclusively to approved academic researchers. What remains hidden inside those shelves, the world may never fully know. Number 2. Area 51, United States. Deep inside the Nevada desert lies perhaps the most famous restricted location on Earth, Area 51. For decades, its existence fueled conspiracy theories unlike anything else in modern history. Aliens, recovered UFOs, secret technology, government cover-ups. But the real story may be even more fascinating. Area 51 is a highly classified United States Air Force facility. In 2013, CIA documents officially confirmed its existence. The base had been used since the 1950s for testing advanced military aircraft, including the U-2 spy plane, the SR-71 Blackbird, and the F-117 stealth fighter. Today, it remains one of the most heavily protected military zones in America. Whatever is currently being tested there remains known only to those cleared to enter. And finally, number 1. Lake Karachay, Russia. Hidden deep within Russia's southern Ural region, near a nuclear facility known as Mayak Production Association, lies one of the most dangerously contaminated places in human history. Lake Karachay. During the Soviet Union's nuclear weapons program, massive amounts of radioactive waste were dumped directly into this small lake. Year after year, decade after decade, by the late 20th century, it had become one of the most polluted places on Earth. At the height of contamination, radiation levels were so extreme that prolonged exposure nearby could deliver a fatal dose within roughly an hour. Then in 1967, a severe drought exposed radioactive sediment buried at the bottom. Strong winds carried radioactive dust across nearby regions. Thousands of people were exposed. Over time, authorities began a massive containment operation. Concrete blocks and specialized materials were used to cover the lake. But the danger has not disappeared. It has only been contained. And Lake Karachay stands as one of history's most terrifying reminders of what happens when industrial power operates without accountability. Because unlike many dangers on this list, radiation gives no warning, no smell, no sound, no visible sign, only consequences. From plague islands hidden in Italy to military secrets buried inside Russian mountains, from ancient emperors guarding unopened tombs to isolated tribes defending the last untouched corners of humanity. These are places on Earth where the doors remain permanently closed. Even today, there are still places on Earth humanity cannot reach. Places still hidden, still dangerous, still unknown. And perhaps some doors were never meant to be opened. If you enjoyed this journey into the world's most forbidden places, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and join us for more fascinating explorations into the hidden wonders of our world. Until next time, keep exploring.